Welcome to the celebration and awards ceremony of the Revolution 2020, BORP's biggest fundraiser of the year.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Noonan, and I am the Vice President of the BORP Board. On behalf of BORP and the board, I welcome you to today's BORP Revolution 2020 celebration event. Hopefully you all have had a weekend full of fun and fitness, and that you have achieved whatever goal that you set for yourself. For those of you who may not know what BORP stands for, it stands for Bay Area Outreach and Recreation Program. But BORP is a lot easier to say and a lot more fun to say too. First of all, I would like to thank our sponsors for the event: Anthem Blue Cross, McGuire and Hester, Clark Construction, SA Photonics, Sutter Health, Fidelity Insurance Services, and Columbia Sportswear. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank all the BORP employees for bringing their talents and vision to have BORP continue to be one of the preeminent organizations for adaptive sports, fitness, and recreation. Also, thank you to all of the awesome online instructors that we had this weekend. You guys really made this event fun and challenging. But most of all, I would like to thank you, our participants, and all of your donors. We are so grateful that you have shown up to cycle, hike, lift weights, dance, and virtually climb, and all of your amazing efforts to raise the funds so that BORP can continue the programming through this pandemic and continues to find ways to creatively bring sports, fitness, and adventure to our ever-growing community. The Revolution, or the Rev, is BORP's largest fundraiser of the year. It started in 2002, and it has grown and evolved over the years. Usually at this point, we would ask everyone to raise their hands and say how many years they've done the Rev. But since we're not doing this live, why don't you go ahead and shout out the number and maybe we'll hear each other. As for me, I think I've done 9, maybe 10. I've really lost count at this point. But for those of you who have done all 19, you're amazing. And if this is your first one, you're amazing too. We're all just amazing. As we all know, this year has been incredibly challenging. The pandemic forced BORP to reimagine and reorganize all of the programming, and that includes the Rev. So we adapted and we changed it to both a virtual and an outdoor event, which really allowed participants from all over the country and of all abilities to connect. And it also created a more inclusive event where many of our BORP participants who couldn't be involved in the Rev before are now able to participate for the first time. And of course, we all long for the days when we can play in group sports, hike together on the trails, and dance at the fitness studio, and of course, hug. But one thing that we have learned from this pandemic is that the virtual classes we created are really an essential part to our programming and to our community. So they are here to stay. Since we can't all be with each other today in person, we thought this might be a really nice moment to share a short video of one of our past live Revolution events so that we can experience the spirit of togetherness and look forward to a time when we can all truly be together in support of each other and support of BORP. So thank you again and take care.
On the Revolution Day, I feel like I'm a 5-year-old kid and it's Christmas morning.
Revolution is the biggest fundraiser of the year for BORP.
The Bay Area Outreach and Recreation Program.
We typically have 200 to 250 riders, both able-bodied, disabled, coming together and all riding together, in this fantastic wine country.
And all the money that they raise goes straight back to our adaptive programs, supporting wheelchair sports, supporting our cycling programs, supporting our outdoor and outreach programs.
It's an organization where people with disabilities get to do the activities that they want to do.
Being able to exercise is a really important thing.
I've seen what a real difference that makes in the lives of our participants.
Ever since I joined BORP, I don't think I've been as good a shape as I have now.
People who see an adaptive cycle and they want to know, because the light bulb goes off. They want to know how they can get involved in that, because suddenly they see that maybe they could do it too.
You know what I really love about this event is how we get everybody on the bike and out on the ride.
I'm doing 45 miles today. I've never done anything like this, and it's beautiful out here.
It's really fun, and you could just go out there and play.
Being able to go out on the roads on a hand cycle and really experience wine country roads is not something I would have been able to do without having the Revolution.
People call it a fundraiser. I like to call it a fundraiser because the fundraising is really important. It generates a huge amount of income that we use to support our programs, but it's really about building community.
Just the community that comes out is really amazing to see the support that BORP has.
It's just the community, how everyone has something in common and people are here to help, and it's nice how everyone kind of interacts so freely because of that.
That's like a family.
BORP offers hope.
It's like the big party for all the people who are closest to my heart.
You can do it. There's proof positive, because you come to BORP and you look around you and you're surrounded by people who can do it, who maybe they thought they couldn't do it, maybe other people thought they couldn't do it, but you got to take that leap.
Everybody needs a chance to do this. Everybody who wants to needs an opportunity, and that's what this is for.
Hi guys, I'm Tina, and I thank you BORP for allowing me to go ahead and share my story, my lifelong story of participating in BORP. I've been a participant of BORP for about 36 years. I started off as a teenager competing in wheelchair basketball, track and field, outdoor activities, water sports, camping, you name it. I was very actively involved as a teenager. There are there are several lessons, but 3 lessons I'd like to go ahead and share with you that were the most valuable to me in my experience growing up with BORP. Number 1 was independence, learning how to carry my luggage when traveling nationwide, sometimes having to take an extra wheelchair for track and field, and transporting all that and myself was very valuable to me. Making decisions without my parents being present, valuable independence. Number 2 would have to be teamwork. Passing the ball at the precise moment when my teammate is waiting under the basket to make that winning basket. Or being available for my teammate to catch the ball, learning to get along with different personalities. Teamwork was something very valuable that I would use in my adult life and continue to use. Teamwork forever. Number 3, the most important lesson learned, learning how to lose. No one likes to lose. And in life, I've had many losses. But what BORP taught me was each and every time you fall or you lose, you find the strength to get back up. Very valuable. Those are the 3 lessons that I took with me and have been a part of my life for all these years, thanks to BORP. But about 19 years ago, had a car accident and I broke my left wrist, leaving me with very little ways to get around. BORP was there for me. They lent me a power chair to have more mobility while I recovered from my injury. It was wonderful to have BORP by my side always. 11 years ago, a doctor said that I needed more activity and exercise in my life. So I went to the bike house and signed up for my first revolution. Oh yes, that was 11 years ago and I have not missed one since. And I am thrilled that we continued the virtual experience this year. That is BORP. 1 year ago, I started my first fitness class with Move to the Beats with Jean P. Starr. It was my first fitness class ever to have participated with BORP. And a month later, BORP asked me to be an instructor and start my Roomba with Tina. And March of this year, when COVID hit and the world stopped as we knew it, BORP came through once again by offering virtual classes to all of us that needed it, that needed something uplifting in their life. And those virtual classes have been so valuable for our physical, mental, and emotional activity. BORP, I thank you. And if you are a sponsor, I want to thank you for all you do for us. If you're not a sponsor, I hope that my story motivates you to become one. And to our participants, you know I love you. And together, we are stronger. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share my story. And next, we have the chair of the board of directors, John Ormsby. He will be presenting BORP's Revolutionary Award. Thank you, BORP. Go, BORP!
Hi, everybody. This is John Ormsby, and I'm the president of the board of directors of BORP. And I'm here today with you to present the Revolutionary Award. Hope you're all enjoying your Rev 2020. I know it's not the revolution that we're all used to, and I'm very sorry about that, but I hope you had a good time, or having a good time nonetheless. This is my 18th year involved with the revolution, 16 as a writer. My first year was 2004, and I'm wearing the jersey to prove it. It's still my favorite jersey design, and I still fit into it, more or less. So 2004, those were the days, huh? Anyway, before I present the award, I want to say a few quick thank yous to some important folks. First and foremost, I want to say a big thanks to everybody who participated today. Whether you rode your bike, or walked, or rolled, or strolled, or whatever you did to raise money for BORP, thank you very much. It's very important and truly helpful. Similarly, thank you to everybody who donated to the revolution this year as well. I know many riders donate to themselves and get their family members to donate, so thank you for supporting our organization and helping keep our program strong and going. Really important during this time as well, when we're all facing a number of challenges, so I truly appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to the BORP staff. As always, I don't want to miss this opportunity. Thank you not only for the work you do every day on behalf of the organization and for all the people whose lives you touch, but also for putting on this event. I know it's a little bit different than normal for you too, but it was still a lot of work. So I appreciate, I want to say thank you on behalf of the board for all your hard work. Really great. Thank you. And speaking of the board, I want to say thank you and acknowledge my colleagues on the board of directors who do so much behind the scenes and not so behind the scenes to help provide these programs and keep BORP strong. So thank you so much for your service to the organization. It's an honor to serve with you. So now I want to present the Revolutionary Award. The Revolutionary Award was created a few years ago to honor people or persons who made extraordinary contributions to BORP. And this year we have a most deserving recipient. His name is Chris Finn. For those of you who don't know, Chris passed away unexpectedly this June. And it was a big loss for BORP, and still very sad about that. But today we want to honor a little bit of Chris's life and his legacy by presenting him with this award. Things to know about Chris. He grew up in Wisconsin, where he was an athlete, a multi-sport athlete, but I think soccer was his main sport. He suffered a spinal cord injury around 19 or 20 years old. That caused him to be in a wheelchair and maybe sidelined his ability to play sports and be involved in competitive sports for a while. But when he came to California in the early 2000s, he discovered BORP. Or maybe it's more accurate that BORP discovered him, because I think it was a symbiotic relationship. Anyway, when Chris arrived at BORP, he immediately took to the sport of power soccer. For those of you who don't know, power soccer is a game played in power wheelchairs. There's some barriers, some dams around the chair, and you move a large ball around on a court and you try to score goals similar to traditional soccer. So Chris, with his soccer background, took to the sport immediately. In fact, he was so good at it that he was named the BORP Power Soccer coach within weeks of having started with the program. So a real natural. And he continued with the sport for the rest of his life. He was also, as a coach, not only did he coach the BORP team, but he was the head coach for two Power Soccer World Cup championships won by the United States in 2007 and 2011. So he was an elite level coach. He also was instrumental in kind of refining and defining the rules of the game, because it was an emerging sport at that time. And it's still, I think it's still developing. It's not yet a Paralympic sport, but I think that's a goal, and that would be something that, you know, when the day comes, when power soccer is in the Olympics, Chris Finn would have a lot to do with making that possible. Power soccer was a huge part of his life. He also was very active in the disabled community, not just around athletics, but other activities. He was a great advocate for the disabled community, a great advocate for families. He was a mentor as a coach. He was just a wonderful person. You know, one of the friendliest guys you ever wanted to meet. Always upbeat, always encouraging. It was no wonder that he was an excellent coach. We all miss him very much. One thing I want to share about Chris and my own personal experiences, and many of you may have been there or shared in this as well, Chris was inducted into the BORP Hall of Fame a couple years ago. And in his acceptance speech, he discussed talking about finding BORP when he came to California, and how through tears, he described how he'd finally reconnected with sports and found a community and found a way that not only could he get something, but he could give something back. And it was just one of the most moving things that I'd ever heard, and it really brought back to me how important the BORP programs are, and how meaningful they are, and how important it is that we continue to sustain them. He was crying, everybody in the room was crying, extremely powerful. I'll carry that memory of Chris with me forever. That's Chris Finn. You're going to learn a little bit more about him from his sister Becky, who's about to accept the award. So I want to turn it over to Becky, Chris's sister, to accept the award on his behalf. Thank you again very much. I hope you had a wonderful ride, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Becky Finn Ewald, and I'm Chris Finn's youngest sister. On his behalf, and in his memory, and on behalf of the Finn family, we are so proud to accept this award. Throughout his life, Chris has been presented with many awards, but we know that this one would have touched him in the depth of his soul. On January 23rd of this year, Chris posted on Facebook, writing that it was day 4 of a gratitude challenge he was doing, called Your Job and Workplace. Here's what he wrote. As a power wheelchair soccer coach, I am grateful for an organization that gave me my dream job and saw my potential and ability when no one else would hire me. I am grateful that my work has allowed me to achieve a childhood dream, but in a way that I would have never imagined. I'm grateful that I feel that I learn, grow, and I'm inspired and motivated by the people I'm there to serve. I'm grateful that even if I'm having a bad day or a week, I can go to work and feel happy and excited. I'm grateful that I'm challenged, valued, accepted, and happy doing the work. I'm grateful for the opportunities that have opened up for me as a result of this work, and that those opportunities keep expanding possibilities in my life. I am grateful for the future opportunities that will come with the work. Although it's funny, it doesn't seem at all like work when it brings you such joy in the end. Chris understood that sometimes where we fall is exactly where the treasure is. In life, sometimes we fall and we become paralyzed. BORP allowed Chris an opportunity to achieve his dream of playing soccer and winning world championships. More importantly, it allowed him to come together, lift people up, and allow others the opportunity to be able. It was through Chris's work at BORP that he lived his message. You are able. You are able's goal is to help spread a message throughout the world, enabling people to have more hope and belief, and to take action towards achieving their dreams, however big or however small they are. Tonight, he would want me to remind each and every one of you that you are able. You are able to do anything you want as long as you believe and take action. It all starts with your dream. While Chris was known to win on the court, it never took the place of the most important part for him, feeling the love. He knew when you found the love, when you empowered others to believe in themselves, to trust others, and to take action to achieve their dreams, nothing would be beyond their reach. I invite you to continue the You Are Able movement, not because it's about Chris, but because it's really about you. It's about all of us using our potential to build a collaborative, supportive culture and community in this world, a place where people are lifted up instead of being torn down. You are able. Pass it on, and here's to living it. Thank you.
My favorite part of coaching is just watching the players develop not only on the court, but as a person. There's one player with BORP, Ruby Shimaria, who had never played a sport, didn't identify with any sports, and came to her first practice and saw people running around in their wheelchairs and said, I want to go fast, because it was never allowed to go fast in school or whatnot. And as she was waiting to get her equipment on, I went up next to her and I said, hey, do you look down the court there? Do you see that woman down there? Her name is Kendra. I said, she's on the U.S. national team and is going to play for the World Cup in a tournament in Paris, France in a few months. You know what? You could be just like her. About 3 months later, her mom came to me and said, Ruby had an assignment at school, and I wanted you to, I get choked up thinking about it, and I wanted to share it with you. And the assignment was, when I'm 30, and she had to complete that statement. And she said something to the effect of, when I'm 30, I want to be the best power soccer player in the world. I want to win lots of trophies like my coach. I'm going to be great at the spin kick. My name is Ruby Shimaria, and I'm a power soccer athlete. And that's the power of the sport. When you take a person who never has played or identified or even watched a sport, and then they get on the court and find that love for the game, and now, even in 3 months, are identifying themselves as an athlete and setting life goals or dreams for what they want to be and who they want to be and how they're going to identify themselves. That's just so powerful.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rick Smith, BORP's Executive Director. Thank you, Becky, for being here tonight and accepting Chris's award. He was a true dreamer, and he had a revolutionary impact on BORP. And we were really so fortunate that BORP and Chris were able to find each other. Now I want to close the same way I began on Thursday evening, with words of thanks to everyone for participating in this year's revolution. That's our participants, our donors, and our sponsors. But most importantly, big, huge thanks to the two people that really made it all happen, and that's Elaine Beal and Jill Gorman. When it was clear that we had to go virtual, neither of them blinked. They just went to work and they produced our first, and hopefully our last, virtual revolution. So cheers to both of you. Now, I hope all of you received an invitation to a Zoom meeting that we're going to have following this presentation, where we can all get together online to recognize our most successful fundraisers and teams. We're also going to conduct a small drawing for some prizes to thank everyone for their efforts. So I hope you can join all of us on that Zoom call, and I hope to see you there.